First and foremost, I want to welcome everyone to the Hall of the Dwarven King, a campaign for the One Ring role-playing game. Tonight we have 4 players joining us. We have Fatimer Proudbottom, Hobbit of the Shire. We have Frór Wildstep, who is a dwarf of Durin's folk. We have Vidar, who is also a dwarf of Durin. And we have Haldor, who is a ranger of the north. Now, where we start is we will start in the village of Bree. And let me get some music here for us. There we go. Start in the village of Bree. And while we are in Bree, we're of course at the Inn of the Prancing Pony, and we are enjoying the finest that the Butterburs have to offer. Now, this is actually the grandfather of Barlaman Butterbur that many people would know from the Fellowship of the Ring. The Prancing Pony has been in the Butterbur family for generations, and this would be his grandfather as a youngish man running the Inn of the Prancing Pony. Now, when we arrive, it is assumed that we know Balin, and I've got a picture of Balin. Let me post that for us here. He is seated at a table, enjoying a pipe and enjoying a pint, and he approaches a subject for us, and he looks at each one of us in turn. The firelight glints off of a stack of yellowed papers clutched in the hands of a bent, gray-bearded dwarf sat next to him. And his beard is plated with tarnished copper, and his hands shake as he shuffles through the brittle leaves. His eyes, though rheumy with age, still burn with a spark of youthful eagerness. And beside him Balin strokes his own beard with a fond smile. "Friends, may I present to you Káli, son of Dáli. His father and I go back farther than I care to count, before fire and dragon drove us from our home. His son sits before you, near as old as me, but with a fire that burns bright. In his day, none were keener at trade or at tales than Káli here." "Bah, Balin, you heap me with more praise than I've earned. I am but an old merchant now, more fit for counting coppers than swinging pick or axe. Yet," and he taps the stack of papers, "yet fortune has seen fit to blow these into my hands, and with them, perhaps, a final chance. Tell them, old friend, they will wish to hear it. This map, I believe it to be the way to Gathol-Zigil, a hidden delving my father sought long ago. He vanished in that search, near 100 years past, leaving naught but questions. I would see the truth of it with my own eyes before my days are done. Was it ruin? Was it treasure? Or did he find halls untrodden since Durin's time? Káli is stubborn as any dwarf, but age has bent his back. I would not see him walk this path alone. That is why I asked all of you here. Will you lend him your strength, and perhaps find the fate of my friend Dáli as well?" And then Káli looks at all of you with a wistful half-smile. "I have little enough to give in return, save what coin I carry and the chance at a discovery worthy of song. But more than that, I would have peace, to know what became of my father. Will ye not help me, travellers?" And he looks particularly at Vidar and Frór, imploring the dwarves to help him.
Yeah, Vidar pulls his axe out. "You have my axe."
"Have we a bow and a sword as well?"
I am with you, my friend.
"I knew I could trust the blood of Durin to see this through. What about the round one there?" And he points a grubby finger at Fatimer.
"Well, I'm one always up for an adventure, so you can count me in."
And Káli looks at Balin. "You told me once that one of the wee folk travelled with you, and it was a very fortuitous, and I trust this one will serve as well. And Balin says, oh yes, this one here knows well the wilds. Never mind the inside of the kitchen as well.
Oh, yes.
Now, we've this tall folk here. You, Haldor, would you accompany my friend on his quest?
Long have my people watched the ruins of the north. It heartens me to see the dwarves yet join us in our watching of the ruins of the north. It would be an honor to join you.
Ah, very good. And he pulls out the map. And let me show you the map. And you should all be able to see that. I'm going to send it to chat as well. And then I am also, under the journals, I'm going to make this observable. There we go. Perfect. And Fatimer, if you and Haldor look at this map, you can see there are Dwarven runes written on the map, and you likely cannot make heads or tails of them. However, Vidar and Frór, you can read this language. This is the language of your fathers. And I'm going to send an image here to the two dwarves. Now that should have gone to Henrik and Luke.
I've got it.
Perfect.
Yes, I do.
So I'll let you discuss the map with the others since you can read that writing on there.
I've not heard of Gathol-Zigil.
Nor have I. Oh, this mine looks like it has many tunnels that are in need of exploration.
I trust our forebears were great in their architectures. If you could trust one thing, the entrance is by the Hall of Great Feasting. Well, this should please our smaller friend.
Ooh, and I'll rub my hands together.
Vidar, give me a lore roll as you look over this map and read this name Gathol-Zigil.
He knows a little. not much.
No, you've not heard of this place. And Frór, I'll let you roll as well. No. The name eludes the two of you. No, have you got any questions for me, lads?
Well, how much do you know of this place? I understand it wasn't discovered by yourself, but...
Well, me father, Dáli, he were a restless one. Where most dwarves are content with trade and toil, he was ever chasing whispers. He believed the old songs spoke of more than legend, that in the old mountains there lay an abandoned delving, cut in ages past, ne'er plundered, ne'er reclaimed. Gathol-Zigil, the fortress of silver. Some say it was but a miner's tale told to widen the mug of ale, but me father, he was convinced it was where King Dror lay, he that bore one of the 7 rings of power. My father left when I was still a beardling, with companions stout and willing, but none returned. And why do I do this now, after so many years? Well, I am an old dwarf, and my days are fewer than the stones in me purse. I would not go to me rest with this mystery gnawing at me bones. To find him, or at least his fate, that is worth one final journey. Better to die on the road seeking truth than in some quiet bed wishing that I had. And look here at this map. Age dims the eyes and hope clouds the mind, but I know me father's script, as I know me own breath. These runes, these notes in the margins, they bear his hand. If this be not a map, it is still the last trace of him left in this world. That alone makes it worth the seeking.
You are well spoken, friend. I have no more questions, if others are interested.
Yes, I agree. There's likely a chance that there could be artifacts of our people laid to rest here that we might honor once again.
Oh, aye, indeed. Sure, and there is. If we could but find this, why, you'd make a young dwarf very happy to hear the fate of his pa, even now in my old age. I would know what happened to him, why he left me and me ma and me brothers alone. Come now, raise your mugs. Let us drink. Tomorrow we travel. Fatimer, what's
Yes.
your thought on all this? You're no stranger to the road, else you wouldn't be here. Do you have any concerns? Any worries? I mean, dwarves, they're always looking for adventure. You've heard the stories in the Shire from that strange Baggins fellow about running off with dwarves. Do you have any fear that maybe the same thing's going to happen to you? After all, Balin was there when that Baggins took off about 20, 30 years ago.
Right, well, that Baggins seems to have come back all right. So, I think I'm in fine company, and I'm ready for an adventure.
And Haldor, this is a chance to maybe check areas that perhaps the rangers are not. Perhaps that this is not a place where the rangers often go, and if there is danger, if something fell did befall Dáli, this may be a chance for the rangers to rid Eriador of something dark and foul. But do you have any concerns or doubts about this mission?
To go where I am most needed is the way of my people. I'm happy to join.
Excellent. The dawn comes early, and with it we find ourselves on the road. Now I am going to take us to a map. So everyone should be able to see this new map of Eriador, the town of Bree. I've marked on there. We are headed, according to Káli, there's a place where two rivers meet, the Loudwater and the Horwell. And he and Balin spent a day looking over old maps, and he found a location on an old map of Eriador, and he thinks maybe down in this area, a place called the Angle, that perhaps that was where the mine of Gathol-Zigil lay. And this is not far from the Redhorn Pass and the way into Moria. And King Dror was a resident of Moria, and perhaps as he fled, this is where he set up shop, as where the river might erode away the rocks, revealing precious metals. And so he would like to journey to the Angle, which is right over here. Now, the way that a journey works is I need you guys to plot a path. You got some options. You can go down the Great East Road, over the last bridge, and down. You can go down the Greenway, down to Tharbad, and then follow the river up. You can take the straight line as a crow flies, direct across, just nearing the South Downs and over the Wild, and then finding your way across the Horwell River to the Angle. how do you propose to do it? And I should have the drawing tools enabled. So with the left-hand toolbar, there should be a tool that looks like a pencil. You can click on that, and then there's another tool that looks like a scribble, the draw freehand, and then you should be able to actually draw on the map like that. There we go. Let me get rid of those.
I think that I would probably warn of some of the dangers in the South Downs, being some barrow wights, but happy to help guide the party through if they trust me to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Get rid of those. So, do you want to plot a path for us, Haldor?
I would plot a potential path. Let's see. Can I do this? Nope, that's not the one.
Should be the pencil, and then the little scribble should be above, like, the text, I think. We'll let you draw freehand. I might need to unpause it. Let's try that. That might work now.
Click on it. It doesn't seem to be giving me the additional option.
Let's see. If does anyone else have the drawing tools? If not, let me... Oh,
I have them.
There we go. Okay. Well, let's draw a couple of paths here, and you guys can kind of decide where you want to go. So one path would take you along the east road over the last bridge and down into the angle. You could also go down through the Barrow Downs, the South Downs, down the Greenway towards Tharbad, and then make your way up to the angle. You could cut straight across. That'd be the shortest distance. The roads would probably be more well protected, but you may also find bandits
cross the river.
Yeah, you don't have to cross the river if you go up to the last bridge near the Trollshaws. Otherwise, you need to find a way across the river. You could go down to Tharbad, get across the river. You'd have to go through kind of the marsh and then follow the river up, and then you still have to cross. So at some point, you need to make your way across the river, and you never know how the river crossings will be. What do you all think as far as the path?
Well, Frór trusts the ranger to know these lands, and he will follow him wherever the ranger thinks is best.
If you all are confident crossing the river when we get to it, I can lead us there.
You want to take the straight line from Bree to the angle?
I say, why waste any more time?
Perfect. All right, let me delete some of these lines that we don't need. Oops, there we go. Get rid of that one. So is that the path we want to take? Is just straight across to the angle and then find a way across the river? What I do is I go onto my map and I plot the path. So let me see how long this will be. So we are looking, oh, interesting. About 13 days is will be the rough estimate, so about 2 weeks. And we will have enough gear with us for all of this. Let me just complete this on my map here. Sorry, just making a note here. Okay, So we are going to make a journey. Now there's another map I'm going to take us to. This is the journey screen. So when we do a journey, we all have to... There's certain things we have to do. The first is to plot a course, which we've just finished. And now we have to do marching tests. We all need to choose a role that we want to undertake. So let me drag some tokens on the map for us. And so you can move your character over to if you want to be guide, hunter, lookout, or scout. Now, the guide is going to make a travel roll. So if you are good at travel, you probably want to be the guide. The hunter will make a hunting roll. The lookouts will make an awareness roll. The scouts will make an explore roll. So maybe look at your sheets and decide who's going to be best at what, and you can kind of base what you want to do from there. So let me know when you've kind of decided what you want to do, and we will make it happen.
I'm happy to take the hunting roll. I don't seem to be able to... Oh, yes, I can. I was still on the drawing. There we go.
Perfect. So do we want... Vidar, do you want to be the guide?
Yeah, that's the only thing he's particularly good at. I think he could be a decent lookout, though. Wait, it was lookout awareness? He would be that scout, maybe? He was good at one of the other ones, too, but he's...
Yeah,
he's
lookout is awareness, scout is explore.
Yeah, he can kind of do scouting.
So
not very well, though.
I've got Frór as the scout, and Vidar as the guide, Fatimer as the lookout. Okay, perfect. So the way that this works, this is kind of a little mini game in and of itself. So the first thing we do is our guide will make a roll. This is a travel roll, and this is to determine how many hexes we are able to move before we encounter difficulties on the road. So I will have Vidar make a travel roll.
For some reason, it's automatically favored. I don't know why that is.
Let's see. Are you... Yeah, so your travel, you're favored in travel.
Oh, duh, of course. Yeah, duh. Favored.
Yeah.
I was thinking that was spending hope.
No. That would be inspired. A great success. So that means that we move 3 squares plus 1, or 3 hexes plus 1 for every 6 that you got, and you got 1. So we move 4 hexes before we have trouble. So I'm going to make a note on our map, and let me get that on here. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, right there. And let me get one on our map here. Perfect. Okay, so now what we have to do, we need to roll to determine the nature of the event and the target. So I'm going to roll a 6-sided die. That's going to be the target of the event. So it is the hunter. So this will be Haldor. So you'll need to make a hunting roll in just a moment, but first we have to determine what the event is. Now this is in let me double check this in a dark land. Yep, this is in a dark land, so we're just skirting the edge of the South Downs, and so this is actually going to be an ill-favored roll. So let me make that roll here.
If I am already favored, does that mean it cancels it out?
No, so that will favor your hunting roll, but not the
Got
event.
it. Ill favor is for your roll.
Yeah, so let's do 2
Got it.
DF, keep low. So we keep the low. Oh, so terrible misfortune. Oh, shoot. Okay, so this will be a despair, not a terrible misfortune. So if your hunting roll fails, everyone in the company will gain 1 shadow point. So if you make this hunting roll, that doesn't happen, but everyone will still take 2 fatigue. So if you would give me that hunting roll, and this one, we are in hard terrain. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. All right. So everyone will need to do a shadow test. And then we're going to discuss what this event was. So to do a shadow test, you're all going to roll Valor. And if you pass, you don't take a point of shadow. Otherwise, you will. Oh, nice. With the Gandalf rune for the auto success. And the Eye of Sauron for the 0. And another Eye of Sauron. Okay. So, so Frór passed. Vidar did not. Haldor did not. So Vidar.
Do I need to give myself the shadow points, or do you do that?
Let me look here. I think I can automate this. Let's see. I've not played with this new toolbar. I don't see shadow points on here. Not dead or not. Yeah, so I'll have each of you give yourself a shadow point on there. So on your character sheet, if you open it, or not each of you, sorry, Vidar and Haldor. On your character sheet, scroll down kind of towards the middle. It has Endurance, Load, Hope, and then Shadow. And under Temporary, put 1 point of Shadow. And so what happens is, as we are, and let me know if you're not able to do that, and I'll help you with that. As we are out hunting, it's been several days, and the path has been very difficult, and we've not been able to find game, and the supplies are running low, and no one is hit harder than Fatimer. However, you have a stash of maybe some biscuits that you've had with you, and so this has been great for you, and so maybe you've been snacking on these biscuits and your emergency biscuits. And do the others know that you have these?
Oh, well, I do need my biscuits, and they're for emergencies. And yeah, they seem fine. Like they don't seem hungry. Not as hungry as me, at least. So I think I'm gonna keep my emergency biscuits to myself.
Now, Haldor, you probably are fully aware that Fatimer has some biscuits and is holding out some food. Do you mention this, or do you keep it to yourself?
I think, being the failed hunter that I am, I'm in no position to point fingers and shamefully keep it to myself.
Everyone's going to take some fatigue, so I'm going to track the fatigue, and then at the end we're going to do some things to try and get the fatigue taken care of. So let me add fatigue on here. Everyone's got 2. So it's a little grim, the first stretch on the road here. Let me add this event. So we've got a travel log, and I'm going to end up saving this for us so that we can always go back and reference it. So target is Haldor, not Hodor. Oh boy. Haldor. Wow, okay, we had a despair. Okay. All right. We need to make another travel roll. So if our guide would make that roll, we'll continue on our journey and see how far we get before we have another ill event. So that's Vidar.
Oh dear.
And that is a failure. So we make it 2 hexes before another negative event pops up. Let me mark these on our map here.
Haven't even gotten to the river yet.
Okay, we're still kind of the edge of the South Downs. Right there. Alright, let me roll to see who the next target is. And it is 2. This is the scout. This will be Frór. So let me roll to see the extent of the issue here. 2DF, keep low. And we get the 6. So a mishap. So if the roll fails, then we add 1 day to the length of the journey, and the target, which will be Frór, will gain 1 additional fatigue. So for the scout, this is going to be an explore roll. Oof. Okay. So everyone is going to take 2 fatigue, but Frór will take 3. So let me put this on our journey chart here, and then we'll narrate kind of what happens here. Mishap. Okay. So Fatimer has 4 fatigue, Vidar has 4 fatigue. Frór has 5 fatigue, and Haldor has 4. Perfect. So what happens with this mishap is probably at camp that night. We're camped around the fire, and it's a very quiet night. We've not seen much as far as bird or game. We've probably been able to bring down a few rabbits, things here and there, but there's not a lot in this area. And that night, around the fire, while Frór has been tasked with making sure that we find a good campsite, you made one error. You did not check the tracks to see if anyone else had used this area. And that night, as you are camped around the fire, Frór, you are the first to notice something just out in the darkness at the edge of the fire. And you can see what looks like a set of eyes glistening in the darkness. And then another and another. And you are being watched by something. And Frór, what do you do?
Well, I will go to Vidar. I believe he is my Dwarven captain, and I will say, Vidar, there appears to be something watching us in the forest. Likely not something good.
Oh, blast! After the day we've had, I wouldn't plan for something good. No. Well, good eye. Well, I suppose we're gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, give me a scan roll, Vidar.
He's definitely got his axe out. He's terrified.
Oh, look at that. Automatic success with the Gandalf rune. Yeah, you know exactly what this is. These are wolves. And you see at least 3 of them. But you suspect there are probably more. We may be near to the den of a pack of hungry wolves.
Of course it's wolves.
perhaps we should alert the ranger.
Oh, good thought. Yes, let's do that. Yeah.
Haldor, you don't even need to make a roll. You can tell these are wolves, and you know that they have been alerted to your presence probably for a day or longer, and now they're taking this opportunity at night to try and pick one of you off, or perhaps one of your mounts.
I quickly jump to my feet, warning everyone to get closer to the fire so that anyone coming near us, we have a better eye to see. And I like to think that I would knock an arrow in my bow and warn everyone that we're about to have to probably fight for our lives for a minute.
Let's go to the combat. Let me take us to the combat stances map here. And let me pull some tokens out as well. And let me grab some wolves.
Do we get opening volleys in this scenario?
You do, indeed. So let me grab wolves. Here we are.
And remember, do we all start in rearward for the opening volleys?
Yeah,
or...
so in fact, you can only use a bow if you're in rearward. And so if you want to move yourself to rearward, and then I will drag us all into combat. And then once we've taken that opening volley, then we'll choose our combat stance for the round. So let me get us.
Do I have to take a specific action to stow the bow, draw the sword,
Nope.
in changing stances?
Nope, not at all. So to get into the opening volley, there we go. So Haldor, do you have a ranged weapon?
I do. Would it be at all possible, instead of using my ranged weapon, to make a battle check to maybe throw a flaming branch from the fire out towards the wolves so that we can see them a little better?
Absolutely. So give me that battle check.
Go. Battle. I would like to use a point of hope for this one.
Absolutely. And do you have a distinctive feature that might come into play here? You've got swift, subtle...
Swift for taking quick action, could be argued.
Swift. I like that.
Let's do it. We try to fling a flaming branch towards the wolves, and we fail that with hope and inspiration.
Oh, man. Well, there's still a flaming brand out there. It does afford a little bit of light. It does not frighten the wolves off. If anything, it seems to enrage them. It gives you indeed a little bit of light, but not enough that's going to likely turn the tide of battle. Vidar, do you have a ranged weapon?
Potentially. Could he throw his spear?
Sure. The problem is then you don't have it to fight in hand to hand. So do you have another weapon if you lose your spear?
Yeah, he's got an axe.
Perfect.
The short spear is like a sidearm almost.
Yeah, so if you want to throw your spear. So in Foundry, you need to target. Jimmy, the way that you target, you've got two options. So you can hover over the creature you want to target. There are two wild wolves, the ones on the top and the wolf chieftain on the bottom. You can hover over them and push the letter T, and it will target them. Alternatively, you can, from the toolbar on the left, you can click on like the head and shoulders, then you see a bullseye that is to select targets, and then click on the token that you want to target. If you're not targeted in the one ring system for Foundry, it won't let you make an attack roll. But Vidar, if you want to throw that spear, go ahead. And that is a fail, as your spear is thrown in and the wolf sidesteps and your spear sticks into the ground, quivering. Frór, do you have a ranged weapon?
Yes, I will draw out my Dwarven short bow.
Oh my goodness! Wow, it's going about as well as I thought. Your
shot goes wide, and
it goes wide into the
darkness.
trees. That arrow, who knows where that went? Fatimer, do you have a ranged weapon?
I do. I have a bow.
Oh, automatic success, which will be a piercing blow. And it's a great success. So, this is fantastic. Now, you targeted the... who did you target, actually? The Wolf Chieftain? Yes, you did. So, I don't know why. Did you click on your bow skill or your bow weapon?
The skill.
Oh, yeah, you want to click on your weapon.
Oh.
Okay, that's okay. I just need to do the math myself here. So it's going to... Now, you got an additional success. You can make that a heavy blow. So normally your bow will do 3 damage. If you make that a heavy blow, it will deal an additional 4 damage. You can deal 7 points of endurance damage. And then it needs to make a protection roll, because you got a Gandalf rune. So let's give it the protection roll. Let's see, your bow, the injury rating of your bow is a 14, so he needs to beat a 14. Oh, and he gets a 15. So he is not wounded, but he does take the 7 points of damage. So let me give him that damage. So tell me how your arrow strikes this Wolf Chieftain.
Well, after I see my friend's weapons just sail right past them, I step forward and I say, "I'll show you how it's done." And I pull back my arrow and it strikes him.
Nice. Let's see if we can do this. The wolves don't make ranged attacks, so they don't get an opening volley. We're going to go to begin combat. All right, so now we will choose our stances. So we've got forward stance, where you kind of press the offense. You'll get a bonus 6-sided die on your attack, but the enemies will also get a bonus if they attack you. An open stance, there's no bonus, no penalty. A defensive stance, you lose 1 6-sided die on your attack, but your enemy also loses a 6-sided die when they attack you. And we can only take the rearward stance if we've got all of the enemies engaged, which we can do, and then we can have 1 person in rearward. So, what stances do you want to be in? I'll let you move your character to those stances, and then I'll actually adjust it on Foundry, and it will do the math for us. So Haldor is going to be in forward stance. Open stance for Vidar. Defensive. And Fatimer, do you want to be in rearward, or do you want to assume a close combat stance?
I'll do rearward if I can.
Yeah. So you're already in rearward. All right, so now we need to engage. So, Haldor, who are you engaging? One of the wolves or the Wolf Chieftain?
I think I'm going to start with one of the wolves.
Okay, so I'm just going to move him over here by you. Maybe. There we go. And let me put down that you are engaged with this guy. Perfect. And what about Vidar? Who did you want to try to engage with? One of the other wolves or the Wolf Chieftain?
He is kind of just going out into the open, blocking them, and just letting whichever one comes to him, really.
Okay. I'll put one of the regular wolves on you. And then that means that Frór, you're going to have to take the Wolf Chieftain. But the Wolf Chieftain has taken some wounds. And in your defensive position, that may not be quite such a bad thing. And even when you're in like an open or defensive position, you're still like up in close combat. It's just more the style. Are you pushing the offense, pushing the defense? You have options in combat as well, so you don't need to attack. If you choose not to attack, you can do one of the combat tasks. So if you're in forward stance, so Haldor, if you wanted, you could do the intimidate foe task instead of an attack. And Vidar, you could do the rally comrades. And Frór, you could do the protect companion. And Fatimer, you could do the prepare shot. So if you want to do those, just let me know and we'll kind of take it from there. But the order of initiative goes from the stances. So forward stances first. Haldor, you have a wolf that's leaping at you as everything becomes chaotic. The horses are crying out and stamping and pulling at their leads. You see shadows in the flames as the wolves circle and rush in and lunge. What do you do, Haldor?
We go in full throttle, two-handing this sword,
Nice.
swinging down at the wolf.
So if you're doing a two-handed attack with your sword, make sure you click on, just like that, on your longsword, two-handed. Perfect. So that is a hit. You hit for 5 damage. That was not a piercing blow, but it still is a hit. So I'm going to give that wolf 5 damage. Nice. And then we go to Vidar. You're up next.
Yeah, as Vidar engages this wolf, he's going to try to rally comrades.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
just
a heart
shouting.
roll.
Yeah, nice. He's kind of good at that. Although, the rolls have not been great tonight.
Do you spend hope?
I should have.
Oh, you needed a 16 and you got a 15. So you do your best to rally, but you guys have only been adventuring for a short time, and things are not going well. And you're unable to get everyone to press the fight. Frór, you're up next in your defensive position.
So it automatically adds the die?
Yes,
for
it will.
that
Yep.
position?
Once I set your stance, it will automatically do that for you.
Right, well, I pull out my axe and I say, Baruch Kazad Amenu, as I prepare to engage in combat, and I chant the ancestral battle cry of
Which
the dwarves.
means axes of the dwarves. The dwarves are upon you, as we all know. So excellent. At least we all know that now. I won't say who had that written on their wall in Dwarven runes, but it might have been one of us. You may go ahead and make your attack. Close. That is a failure. Fatimer, you're up with your bow. Who are you targeting?
I'll go for the same
The
wolf
chief?
that I did last time. Yeah.
Okay. Or do you want to spend your turn making a scan roll to get bonus die on your attack?
I think I'll just make the attack.
Okay, go
this
for it.
time. And I'll roll the weapon this time.
Yeah,
not the skill.
that way it just automates it. And that is an 11. So close, but not quite. The Wolf Chieftain will attack next, and he is attacking Frór. And he will get a penalty because you're in a defensive position. But the Wolf Chieftain comes in and bites at you with its ripping fangs. And that is a hit. And Frór, you will take 4 points of damage. And I can automate that to you, so I'll take care of that. Perfect. There we go. And then up next is the one on Vidar. And this one, same thing. He comes in gnashing his teeth, and he tries to get a grip on your leg. And as he dives in, you pull your leg back to try to avoid, but he strikes true for 3 points of damage, and I'll go ahead and automate that on you as well. And then last, the Wild Wolf on Haldor. With your frantic offensive push, he is able to get a bonus because you are foregoing your defense, and as he comes in, he tries to get that cruel piercing blow, and he does not, but it is a hit, and you're hit for 3 damage. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that to you. And we go to the next round. Does anyone want to change their stance?
Yeah.
What do you want to be in, Vidar?
Forward.
Forward stance. And anyone else want to change? All right, Haldor, you're up first.
Alrighty, very angrily, after being hit, I swing again, just full throttle, top to bottom, going for a skull-crushing blow here.
Nice. Ooh, there we go. Great success. So now it should pull up another window where you can either make that a heavy blow or try to get a piercing roll. Now, you rolled a 6. You need to add 4 to that to get a piercing blow, and I don't believe you can, but let me look. Do you have Dour Hand?
I think because I'm keen, I only need a 9, but I still can't.
Yeah,
get
yep. So
there.
you would need a 9, and I think you can add 2 with that. So probably a heavy blow. So you can just select that, and then once you accept it, it will automate that damage. There we go. 11 damage. Ooh, okay. Let's give him damage. Nice. How do you take out this wolf?
I would just top to bottom, two-handing the sword directly on top of its head in an attempt to split its skull in two.
Nice. And it does. You strike it, and it drops like a sack of stones as the blade cleaves in through fur, scalp, and bone. And it lets out a whimper as it strikes the ground at your feet. Vidar, you're up next. Nice. We get a solid hit for 6 damage. Let me apply that on there. And Frór. Okay, Frór, wow. You come in, and with your additional success, you deal 12 damage. Let's apply that. Okay, how do you take out the chieftain?
Well, I bring my axe in and I sweep his front legs, and he goes down, and then I bring the axe down on his chest like I'm hammering some sort of weapon at an anvil.
And it strikes him, and again there is a whimper and a soft bark as though he is unused to this sort of beating, and he will never take another because his life's blood is spilling out all around him. Fatimer, you see the wolf that was on Vidar turn to run. You can get a shot off if you like.
I will try.
He's got 6 hit points. Take him out.
Oh.
Okay. So it should give you the option there of should be able to make that a piercing blow. Select one of those to be a piercing blow and one to be like a heavy blow.
All right.
And nice. So let me give him a protection test. He has to beat a 14. And he does. However, he takes 8 damage, which is more than enough to finish him off. So how do you destroy that wolf?
Well, I take aim, I pull back my bow, and it flies through the air and hits him right on the nose.
Nice. And you have downed the wolves, and you can hear the scurry of other wolves as they flee the scene. And let me get these wolves off of here.
Well fought.
And now that now that the battle is over, you've got some wolf pelts and carcasses at your feet.
Well, Fatimer, do you know how to cook wolf? I believe we've solved our food shortage.
Oh, well, I certainly know how to eat wolf, but I'll see what I can do.
If you want to prepare some wolf, you most certainly can. You could make a roll for me. That to cook wolf is probably a little different than what you're used to, but if you want to make a craft roll as you try to fashion some sort of spit to roast this wolf upon, and you can add a bonus die.
Okay.
No, so the wolf it's really gamey. You can eat it. It gives you sustenance, and you cook it well, but it's not delicious. And you probably eat what you need to get by, and I don't even know if you would keep the rest. It's pretty bad. These things have been eating who knows what, but it's pretty foul. You can take a rest tonight. The rest of the evening will pass uneventfully. So on your sheets, actually, can I do? Let's see. I can make a day pass. No one's wounded, so everyone should be able to recover their hit points. On your character sheet, there is a spot for resting. It's just below your endurance. There's a shorter prolonged rest. You can go ahead and click on the prolonged rest button, and it should restore all of your endurance points. Perfect. And so we're still, looks like Vidar has spent a hope and Haldor has spent a hope. Those are not recovered unless you want to use the fellowship pool to pull points out while you're resting. You can only do that during rests if you want to take out a point to refill your hope pool.
Yeah, the little pop-up came up that asked if I wanted to do that.
Oh, perfect.
How does armor work? Looks like I got hit. I'm just curious.
So armor only protects you from a piercing blow. So if they score a piercing blow on you, you make that protection roll. And if you succeed, then you don't take a wound. Armor does not help you avoid being hit. It just prevents the really serious wounds from hitting.
That makes sense. You get hit with a mallet or whatever, it still fucking hurts even if it doesn't.
Yeah, and if you're wearing like a big suit of armor, you're probably easier to hit. You know, you're not as agile and whatnot, but it's harder to get a weapon to pierce through that into something vital. So the next morning we can resume our travels. Let's go back to the travel screen here. Journeys, there we are. Perfect. So we need another guide roll from Vidar.
No pressure.
What could go wrong?
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, that looks good.
Wait.
Okay, great success. So,
oh yeah. So I was just gonna say that would not have succeeded without the Gandalf, I don't think.
yep.
Oh wait, well, that's a lot of forwards. Maybe. Hold on.
Let's see. So you would have got a
It
6,
said
12,
14 out of 16. Yeah.
Yeah, so you would have actually had 20. So that would have been a success.
Weird. Okay.
So yeah, we'll take the Gandalf rune though. So that's an automatic success, and then you got an extra success. So you actually travel 4 days before the next event. So let me just mark that on my map really quickly. Oh, perfect. This will get us to the river. So let me put a mark there. And put a mark right there. Okay, journeys. Let me roll to see who the target is of this event. It is going to be the scout again. And let me roll to see the extent of the event. B will keep the lowest one, so it'll be a 3. Ill choices. So if the scout fails the explore roll, then they will gain 1 shadow point of dread, and everyone will, regardless, will take 2 points of fatigue. The ill choice definitely has to do with crossing the river, and so the scout is trying to find a good crossing. So please, Frór, give me that explore roll.
Are we allowed to, at this point, use hope to support one another?
Yep. So anyone can use hope to support someone. If it is your fellowship focus, they get an additional point. So if you spend a point of hope, he gets an extra 6-sided die. He can also spend hope himself on this roll. And then if it is your fellowship focus, which I think Vidar
is focusing on
Frór. So if Vidar spends a point of hope, that's going to give Frór an extra point or an extra dice, and if Frór spends hope, that's another dice, and so that's kind of how you can assist each other. And you've got wary is one of your distinctive features, Frór. So I would let you use that distinctive feature to absolutely become inspired if you want to spend hope. So you'd spend a hope, and if Vidar does, you'd get 3 bonus die, or 4 bonus die.
Right. So how many bonus die do I get for this?
So when you go to roll your so it'll figure it out for you. When you go to roll your explore, where it says Hope Point bonus die, click on that one.
Well, and then I choose Inspired,
Yep.
but on like the bonus penalty, how many...
No, you don't do any. It'll do it for you. So then where it says Support from a Companion, below the Hope Point bonus die, click on that, and then click on the one that says Fellowship Focus. And so then if we look, it shows that you're going to roll 2 feat die, and then 7 skill die, because you're favored, you're inspired, you have a Hope Point bonus, you're supported, and it's your Fellowship Focus.
We all very much believe in you.
Yeah.
All right.
This is kind of a big one. You probably want to make this one. That's a lot of dice. Oh man, you got a 1, but we'll take the 9. So you got a 38. Yeah, I think you got it. So with this one, this was ill choices. So you do not gain shadow points. Everyone will take 2 points of fatigue as they are crossing here. So let me add this onto our journey map.
There seems to be perhaps a small island in the middle of the river that perhaps we could use to get across and rest while we make our way across this rapids.
Okay. Oh boy. Let me add 2 fatigue to everybody. 6. 6. I think it's because I'm popped out. Let me try this. If I pop that in. And that was a success. Found the river crossing. So yeah, you are able to find an area where you're going to have to get your horses and ponies across. Well, we have 3 ponies, no horses. You got to get your ponies across. So it can't be rapids, it can't be super deep, and it takes you some time, and that's where the fatigue comes in. You're tromping along the edge of this river trying to find the right place to cross. It does take you some time, but you get it eventually. And the crossing goes well. This could have been bad, but you were confident in your ability, and you had a fellow dwarf that was looking out for you. And as you survey the stones, one of the main things that you found is there was some boulders. And both of you looked at those, and you said, oh, them are loose. Them will break free if we cross there, and the horse will twist his leg. And maybe for Haldor and Fatimer, you probably didn't see that. But these dwarves have a kinship with the stone. And you knew right where would be a bad spot to cross. And so you went and found another spot and were able to get across well. We need one more journey roll. This will be Vidar. Give us that travel roll. Oh, excellent. Coming in hot with the Gandalf rune, we are going to arrive. Let me just mark that down. As we cross to the angle. Perfect. Okay. And as we end the journey, we need to factor in the fatigue. So we did manage to make this in the amount of time that we thought, but it was kind of exhausting. And let's pull the journey log up here. In fact, I'm going to make this observable for you all. So this will be it's actually under items, the little briefcase, and it will be under journey logs, and it should say the beginning. So the way that the fatigue will work is we can reduce your fatigue by the vigor of your mount. And so Fatimer, you have a pony that will reduce your fatigue by 1. So yours drops to 5. Vidar, yours is reduced by 2. Yours drops to 4. Frór, yours is reduced by 2 down to 5. And Haldor, you don't have a mount. You had to carry your own gear, which you're probably used to, but it's exhausting. Now you can all make a travel roll. And if you succeed, you can remove an additional point of fatigue. And any 6s that you roll will reduce further points. So everyone can please make that travel roll.
Wow.
And we can use hope for this one as
You
well?
can. Yep, you can use hope.
We are going to hope that one. And that's it.
That's it. Nice. So everyone got a regular success except for Frór. So Haldor, yours will drop down to 5. Vidar's to 3. And Fatimer's to 4. So on your character sheet, let's see, this was 13 days of travel. On your character sheet, there will be fatigue. It's down kind of by where your load is, and you can adjust that accordingly. So, Fatimer, you're going to put 4. If you scroll to where there's the small diamond, it says fatigue. Put a 4 in that little diamond. Vidar, you'll put a 3 in there, and Frór a 5, and Haldor a 5. Does everyone see where to put that?
I can't find it.
So it's on kind of the middle of the page. You have to scroll down. It says resources. There'll be endurance, load, hope, and shadow. And next to load, there will be a small diamond, and it'll say fatigue. And you'll put that in there. Do you see that?
Thank you. Yep, I see it.
Everybody else got it?
Yes.
Perfect. Now you will alleviate this fatigue by resting, not just out in the wild, but like in a comfortable bed, in a place where you're not worried about wolves coming to get you. In the meantime, these fatigue points will count as load against you. So if your load was originally 10 and you just took 4 points of fatigue, your load is effectively 14. And so now if your endurance drops down to 14, you become weary. One of the joys of travel is the fact that it makes you very tired. Perfect. But we've made it to the angle. We're also at the 90-minute mark. Why don't we take a break here for about 8 minutes? And when we come back, we will explore Gathol-Zigil. So I will see you all in about 8 minutes.
My fate is unspoken. it doesn't make much sense to me. I think that the DM might be out to get me. A hero in armor and truth, bards tell my legacy. The flame of my torch illuminates the enemy. I win in a battle, hewing foes asunder. The deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. The bodies pile up before me, the corpses I plunder. The deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to immutable paper. And while in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice in my fate is unspoken. I drink my last potion. I charge through the open gate. The flame of the dragon, try to seal my awful fate. With a handful of dice, 5 times I roll 20. The dragon goes down, the DM will bloody. I leave with the princess, a satchel chock full of gold. We head to the tavern, where my mighty tale unfolds. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to immutable paper. While in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice in my fate is unspoken. The king he honored me with the mighty crossbow. It's blessed by the elves, he said. I thank him and I go. The life of a hero, struggling to stay alive. It's worth all the hardship though, 'cause now I'm a level 5. Level 5.
All right, I am back. Are we all here?
Hello.
Hello.
Present.
Excellent. Excellent. We are all here. So I've changed this to a map of the angle, so we can see where the two rivers cross, and there is this large hilly structure here, and it's likely that this is where the Gathol-Zigil might be. It's going to take an explore roll. I'll let one of you make that roll. Who wants to make the explore roll to see if they can find the entrance?
Frór would be glad to. He is a treasure hunter, and he's used to trying to find secret entrances and pathways.
Excellent. That would be great. You give yourself a bonus die because of that excellent lead-in you gave us there. Oh, nice. Yeah, with ample success there. No great success, but enough to find the way. And let's go right here. You explore for about half a day, and then you find the entrance to the cave. And this is very, very still and very quiet, but you notice there's no tracks leading in and out. A lot of spider webs, a lot of dust, but it looks like nothing has been in here, even though it's open. For some reason, agents on the road or other travelers or even larger animals seem not to have used this place. And let's get some heroic music going here. There we go. So pulling out the map that you have, let's pull that up. We're going to start up here towards the top. And our dwarves, let me give you some ownership of that translated map, and you'll be able to help the others with this.
Yeah, I popped mine out. So
Oh,
I've
perfect.
got printed one on the screen. Yeah.
Excellent. So, as we ease our way in, we climb down a series of tight stairs that lead to a small hall where 4 statues seem to hold up the ceiling. It is pitch black down here, requiring torchlight to navigate the tunnels. Who goes in the lead?
Vidar will definitely be trying.
Vidar, as you take the lead, the dust, the cobwebs, they're everywhere. This place has not been touched by dwarven hands in hundreds of years, you would suspect. If Dáli, if Káli's father made it here, he didn't last long, if he even set foot in here at all. He has not set up shop in here. Likely this is his grave, and you brace yourself for that discovery, knowing that it will at least put to rest the worried mind of a once young, now old dwarf, Káli, but also perhaps shed some light on why his father was searching for this place. As you continue on, you reach the feasting hall, and that is going to be this large room up ahead. There is a makeshift kitchen here, and scattered bones are found amongst the area here. This is the hall. Here is the kitchen, and many of the bones are in this area here. The map is clearly not to scale, not with any great detail. You can see there's just kind of a maze of tunnels that connect some of the other rooms. Where do you want to head, Vidar, as you begin to go into this chamber?
Yeah, definitely. Vidar would probably be taking a turn into the kitchen. The hall of great feasting. And then from there, well, we've got a choice. we could go for the Hall of the King, or a few other places. There seems to be some tomb beyond a silver pool, and also to the far south east, there's the grave. Sounds quite ominous.
Well, Frór, you probably confer with Vidar, and what's your feeling on the matter?
Yes, I think if we're going to find that dwarf's father is going to be in the grave, but that sounds like a rather grim place to go. I think the Hall of Feasting is a good place to start our exploration of this ancient mine.
And as the two of you mentioned the Hall of Feasting, Fatimer, what thoughts go through your head?
Well, this definitely piques my interest. I mean, what else would I want to do in a hall but feast, so...
As you make your way through the tunnels and you travel through the feasting hall, Fatimer, you're probably dismayed to find that there is no food here. Whatever was here once has since rotted into piles of decay. There's a few bones, looks like perhaps game that had been roasted, and now it's just blackened bones. There are other sacks that probably held grains that have sprouted, died, and withered away to essentially nothing. Just piles of food that has rotted in here. You can imagine that this must once have been filled with the smell of roasting meat and baking breads, but now it's just quiet and still. And your stomach, which was probably growling at the thought of the Hall of Feasting, is turned by just seeing how grim this place could be. This place that was once festive and full of laughter and cheer is now like a mausoleum. As you continue on exploring these areas, the way that this will work, since it's kind of a maze on there, we're going to make explore rolls. And so you will, if you succeed on an explore roll, you will find a key location that's connected by the winding tunnels. And if you fail, you don't find your way there. It just takes you time in the tunnel. But that's how you will navigate this map. As you find some of the areas on this map have collapsed and others are open, or you need to squeeze through. So Vidar, since you're in the lead, do you want to make that first explore roll?
Yeah, I will, but maybe we'll ask one of the others to take over.
Oh, look at that. Needed a 16, got an 18. You find the Miner's Rest. This is kind of this larger area down here. And this is there's makeshift wooden structures that amass to create living quarters for the dwarves who once drew silver from the tunnels. The remains of forges coat the floor with ash and rust. And despite the ruinous look of the room, the walls and pillars express a delicate craftsmanship. You feel a yearning to see these forges lit anew, and it's only with great sadness that you can survey the damage that time has wrought here. And still, if you close your eyes, you can hear the ringing of hammers that must have once resounded in here like music, or the trickling of a brook. Who wants to make the next explore roll? And I'll, truth be told, I'm going to let everyone make one. So whoever wants to go next can make one.
I'll hesitantly go next.
Excellent. So Haldor, as you look around, you smell the air. What's down this tunnel, you might ask? And as you head down the tunnel, you start to get turned around. You know your way above ground. You can judge direction and distance based on landmarks, on the sun, on the stars. But down here, it's hard because there's nothing for you to gauge that. The dwarves have an easier time, almost as though perhaps they have some sort of attunement to the vibrations in the stone or the magnetic fields that are produced by the iron. Whatever the explanation might be, it's easier for them than it is for you. And as you travel, you struggle to find a suitable destination. What you do find, though, is the tunnel's end. This kind of lower rightmost section down here. And what first draws your eye is a dimly glowing vein of ore, silver in nature, that leads to the end of this small tunnel, where palisades guard a small wooden structure, and surrounding that structure are many bones, dwarves that look to have been torn asunder, their bones scattered all across the floor. There are ruined blades, and a near-destroyed tome in here. It looks as though whatever was once written in this book, very little of it has survived the passage of time. It's written in the Dwarven rune, and you look at it and can probably make very little clear direction as to what it says. If you want to try to see if you can interpret some of this, you would have some basic learning and these sorts of things. You could give me a riddle roll, or you could hand it to the dwarves and they could read it for you.
I think I'm going to go straight to handing it to the dwarves with a 0 riddle and a 16 target number. I don't think that's going to happen.
You'd have to get a Gandalf rune. That would be your only choice. As you hand it to the dwarves, Vidar and Frór, you look at this and you can see that it seems to have been it's written in Kuzdul, in the Dwarven runes, and it sounds like many dwarves came here to mine silver found in a cave, only to discover large veins of mithril. There are a few notes about King Dror hoping to establish a new kingdom, but then the hope disappears as the final entries tell of sudden, strange disappearances leading to the mine entrance being sealed.
Well, most grim. Vidar's quite sad about this scene with all the bodies, but well, these were mighty men who held their ground.
And I've got some fragments of text here I'm going to paste into the chat.
I think I wonder aloud, held their ground against what?
That is a great question.
So some of the text, it says, "The fires of the east spread even unto the western hills. We heard tidings of villages blackened, of stone halls cast down by the servants of the Dark One. Many of our kin took the long road to Khazad-dûm, seeking safety behind Durin's doors." Then the next entry, "Yet here at the meeting of the melted snows of the loud water and the Horwell, our delving struck strange fortune. Beneath the roots of nameless hills we found a glimmer, purer than silver, harder than tempered steel. Mithril they named it, the true treasure of Khazad-dûm, hidden far from Durin's realm. A gift of the deep earth, perhaps spared from the enemy's gaze." And then the next fragment, "For a while we toiled in joy, and the veins seemed endless. Yet shadows lengthened in the tunnels. First Torin, son of Dwalin, vanished, his tools left as though he had stepped away only a breath. Then Idus, and after him 2 more. Only silence where their voices had been." Scanning through a few more pages, "We sealed the lower shafts with stone and rune, for none dared walk them. Still the dark pressed close, and our company dwindled. The last of us set hammer to wall and closed the outer gate. Better the treasure sleep forgotten than awaken what dwells beneath." And one of the last entries, "Should any kin find these words, let them turn away. The mithril is cursed, or the hills are hollow with older powers than ours. Seek not this place." That's not
That sounds
foreboding
promising.
at all, yeah. The 2
What do
dwarves,
you
I need
think
you guys...
the odds?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was asking, what do you think the odds this old dwarf read this and left?
Oh, and well, he didn't return to his family.
Vidar and Frór, at reading of this terrible thing that befell the dwarves here, you need to make a shadow test. This is dread, so you make a valor roll. Otherwise, you'll suffer 1 point of shadow.
I don't think I've ever succeeded one of these in any of the one shots we've
Neither
done.
of you did. So you'll both each take 1 point of shadow. Who makes the next explore roll?
I can make the next one. Ooh.
Okay. You travel. You find an area. It's going to be right here on the map, kind of this midpoint. And most of the carved tunnels seem to converge here. There's numerous wooden structures, pillars and beams that support the various offshoots of the mine. There's collapsed scaffolding, once that allowed access to the tunnel above the ceiling, but now no light can illuminate it. Lingering too long in this area will surely cause you some dread. Meaning, if you find this location again in your travels, like another failed explore roll, everyone will need to make a shadow test as you realize we're walking in circles. Who's next? Who has not made one yet? Vidar, I think that's you.
He was the first.
Frór
You
has
were the
not
first.
made one
Frór,
yet.
you're up next with an explore roll. No pressure.
Yes, I think Frór is looking for this Hall of Kings. He wishes to find what there may be hidden here and leave, having heard this message.
Yes, you have to pay your respects.
Oh, double Gandalf rune.
Wow.
With a 6, so a great success. Okay, so you do in fact find the Hall of the King, this large room right here. What was the making of a throne room was left forever in a state of incompletion. Scaffolding adorns the walls as large amounts of stones remain uncarved. Centermost stands an enormous statue of a great dwarven warrior with a ring made of mithril upon his left hand. And I have a picture for you. Right there. So centermost stands an enormous statue of a great dwarven warrior with a ring made of mithril upon his hand. This is Dror, forever captured in a moment of victory. When you enter in, there is a quiet humming that can be heard. All of you need to make a shadow test. So that's a virtue, or a valor, excuse me. Everybody fail? Yeah. Everybody will take 1 point of shadow.
1 point of shadow.
Haldor, let me have you make a scan roll for me, if you would.
Absolutely. I can find my scan. There it is.
Oh, so close. There's a lot of scaffolding here, as though this chamber were under construction when it was apparently abandoned. There are stones that are, some are carved up near the top of the chamber. It looks as though there may be even a stone walkway up at the top of the scaffolding. that humming sound, you cannot place where it's coming from. And again, it's from being in the tunnels. It's hard to get that direction sense. Is it coming from there or here? It's echoing everywhere. But it's a strange humming. You've never heard anything, maybe like the drone of a bee, like a hive of bees or something, but there would be no bees this deep beneath the earth. What do you do? What would our dwarves do at seeing this King Dror, who lived under the mountains, who wielded one of the rings of power?
Yeah, Frór will definitely take a knee and pay his respects.
Give me an enhearten roll. Okay. And Vidar, what about you at seeing Frór bow and kneel before this king of dwarves?
Yeah, he was clearly a legendary dwarf.
Lived during the time of Durin the Fourth. Vidar, you can recover one of those shadow points, as this emboldens you, instills you with the glory of dwarves that once were and that shall be again. Now from here you can, there's no maze of tunnels, you can see a path here at the end that seems to lead to this room, kind of an offshoot over here. Likewise, you can head out into the tunnels to try to find the back way. It looks like there's a tunnel down here at the south that may lead to this, perhaps a pool of water.
Are we continuously hearing this humming?
Yes, and it seems to get louder and fade, and then it grows still, and then it comes back and hums again.
I think I'll suggest we go a bit deeper and try to find the source.
To find the source of the humming?
Yes.
Perfect. Has everyone done an explore roll?
Yep.
I need one more from whoever wants to take it. Probably whoever is the best at it.
Who is the best? I'm not favored. I've got 2 die.
Frór is favored. He has 3 die.
Oh, probably Frór. Unless someone has a lower target number or...
Can we use... Oh, never mind. Well, I don't think
Didn't
that's...
need it. Look at that.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, with 3 extra successes. Here is what you find. In this room here. In fact, I can... You know what I ought to do? I've got the token here. Let's just put... That shows where we are. Right there. In this room you find a stone sarcophagus. It has been desecrated. Inside there is a skeleton of a dwarf. One of his fingers seems to have been hacked off. Recalling that statue, it's the finger that held the ring. The scattered pieces of the sarcophagus lid read, Dror, son of Gror, king of the Silver Fortress, bane of orcs, and greatest of horde builders. But no horde can be found. Both it and presumably Dror's ring and finger were stolen at some point in the past. There is a large collection of skeletons that surround the sarcophagus. This collection of bones is chilling to see, as though there are hundreds of souls that were lost in this room. The most fresh skeleton is still armored, still dried flesh upon his legs, which have been separated from a torso. There is a high likelihood that this dwarf died within the last 100 years. This could be Dáli, or at least part of him. Amongst the collection of bones lie the remains of taller folk. Looking at the skulls, these are orc, who must have come to loot this passage. Perhaps they were felled by the dwarves. Everyone in this room at seeing the carnage will need to make a valor test, or take a point of shadow. Oh! Okay.
So I forgot to ask. I have dark for dark business, and that says that all of my rolls in the darkness are inspired. Is that only if I spend hope?
Yes. So what that means is if you spend hope, you get an extra bonus die. It's like if you used your distinctive feature.
Well, I will spend a point of hope and use that ability.
Oh, got it. Perfect. So, since we just had an Eye of Sauron rolled, I increased the Eye awareness. So this is a feature where, as things begin to turn bad, the Sauron becomes aware of our presence. And so as we discover things in the world, our eye awareness went from 2 to now 3. And in this part of the world, when it reaches 16, then we'll have what's called the hunt, which is where something negative happens. So the way you get these eye points is by rolling Eye of Saurons outside of combat, or like using magic tends to get the attention, or doing things that might draw the attention of the eye. So right now our eye awareness did go up 1 because we did have that who rolled that. I'm not sure who got the roll.
It was Vidar.
Was it Vidar? Okay, yeah, Vidar got it. So. Oh yeah, there we are. Perfect. And then Frór, even with spending hope, you still did not manage to get that. So those that failed will take 1 point of shadow, which everyone failed. So everyone will take 1 point of shadow. Haldor, you discover the source of that humming sound as you're looking through the bones, and you happen to glance upwards. And up above you, let me grab the artwork here. You see a creature. Pale white. Massive teeth. Looking down at you. And it lunges. Let me go to our combat stances. Let me get some.
Would I, by chance, be able to make a lore check with my shadow lore distinctive feature to know what this thing might be?
Absolutely.
You're gonna come in with a lore, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it the hope and the inspired because of the feature.
Perfect.
All right. All right.
Oh, look at that. Gandalf room. Sweet. And 2 6s. So, you have heard of this creature. Some other rangers, it's almost a story that's told, and perhaps you didn't think it were true, but this thing is called the Terror of the Tunnels. It is an old creature from the First Age, and it is said that this creature has but one fear. And since you got an extraordinary success, that fear is fire. You also know that this creature, in fact, when you see it, it can strike fear in any that it sees. If you can defeat this, this would be a great boon to the Rangers. It seems as though perhaps this is responsible for all of these deaths in here, as this thing has been here for centuries, feasting on everything it encounters. This is likely the reason why the dwarves fled Gathol-Zigil. This is likely the reason why those orcs were slain as well. Perhaps this is the reason why the ring gifted to Dror was taken at some point in the past. So, let me drag us all into combat.
Are we by chance holding torches?
Yeah, you would have had torches. So probably everyone has a torch in here.
I think I would make it known to everyone. These torches may be our only saving grace against this thing. Don't drop them.
Let's do an opening volley. So there's not a lot of space here. It's only about 20 feet above us. So you're going to have a penalty of 1 dice on your opening volley, just because there's you got to be fast and there's not a lot of room before it leaps. But I'll give you the chance to do an opening volley. So Haldor, we'll go to you first.
I think I would opt to keep the torch close by and ahead of me, with not risk the pulling out of a bow and using both my hands.
Yeah, if you draw your bow, you got to put that torch down. So I think that's a good idea.
I'll opt out of that.
How about Vidar?
For our stances?
No, this would be if you want to do a opening volley. Do you want to throw your spear?
Yeah, sure.
So you can throw it and just add a penalty die. So at the bottom of that second screen, just select the first 6 that has the X through it. Your spear clatters up into the darkness, striking the stone and then falling down near your feet. Frór, are you taking an opening volley?
Yes, he will draw out his short bow.
What do you do with your torch?
He will set it down.
Okay. Go ahead and take your shot and just add a penalty die. And Fatimer.
I will also draw out my bow.
And torch on the ground?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Fatimer. You strike it for 8 damage. We have that. Or 3 damage, sorry, not 8. Excellent. It does not... let me make sure it does not get a ranged attack. Nope, does not get a ranged attack. We'll go to combat. Now this is where you can choose your stance. So, Vidar, what stance do you want to choose?
Yeah, I suppose he will go. He'll go open.
Open stance?
Stay.
Okay. How about Haldor?
I'm going to go open as well.
And Frór?
Frór will be defensive.
Okay. And Fatimer?
I'll do rearward.
So, and again, you'll have a penalty on your shots just because it's cramped position and you're struggling to keep enough distance to be able to use your bow, but you can use it. Let me get everyone engaged with this guy. Perfect. So, Vidar, you're up first.
Yeah, I will once again try to rally my comrades.
Excellent. Enhearten, please. Ooh, look at that. So, you got it with 2 successes. So that means everyone in forward, open, and defensive stance on the following round. So next round, you'll get to add a bonus die to your rolls. So well done. What do you do? How do you rally your comrades?
Yeah. He just. I was gonna say. Well, this is what he would do. I don't know how inspiring this is for half of the party, but he's just shouting about vengeance for the dwarves and the others lost.
Ooh, nice. Haldor, you're up.
If I were to also rally comrades, would that stack on his?
Yep.
I think that I would choose to rally comrades. If I use a hope, may I use my distinctive feature to be inspired to knowing the lore of this thing and hardening everyone by claiming that this beast has plagued this land for ages. By slaying it, we would be renowned in songs for ages to come.
Absolutely.
I'd like to go ahead and make that in Hearten. Check with Hope Inspire. And let's see where we go. Yikes.
Oh, man. It was awesome.
Doesn't land with anyone.
Nope. Everyone's like, maybe. Frór, your turn.
Frór will draw out his axe and approach this beast.
Swing away. There we go. Okay.
Nice.
And you can do 12 damage to that thing. That's a pretty severe blow. Where do you hit it?
I think I chop off one of its legs as though I was felling a tree.
Nice. And Fatimer. Again, you'll have a penalty die on this attack. And then you won't gain the benefit from the rally comrades if you're in rear work next turn.
Yeah. Can I prepare shot then?
Yep, give me a scan roll to make it count next time. Oh, look at that. So you'll add 2d to your next. So one of those will be taken away from your penalty, but you'll end up with a net 1d bonus.
Cool.
The Terror of the Tunnels. It has Might 2. So that means it needs 2 wounds in order to kill this thing outright, unless you can reduce its endurance. That also means it gets 2 attacks. It's going to attack the 2 in open stance. So Vidar, and I think I've called you Vidar, Vidar. Let's settle on a name. Luke, how do you pronounce your character's name?
Ooh. I think I've also been saying Vidar, but I kind of like Vidar.
Yeah.
I think Vidar sounds better.
Like Vidar? Okay, I'll try to remember Vidar. So it's going to attack Vidar. I'm going to call you Vidor in just a second here. Vidar and Haldor. It goes after the 2 of you. And so it goes after the dwarf first. You look a little bit more menacing, and it wants to take you out as quickly as possible. And the first thing that this creature does is it has hate. It's kind of like hope that you have. It can spend points of hate to do things. And the first thing it's going to do is to strike fear. It spends 1 point of hate to make all player heroes insight, which is all of you, make a shadow test. So you'll gain 2 shadow points of dread. If you fail your shadow test, you are daunted and cannot spend hope for the rest of the fight. So all of you need to make a shadow point. Or a valor roll.
Is this one Valor or Wisdom?
This one's Valor.
Well, that's pretty strong.
We can use Hope for
You
these,
can use hope for
right?
this, yep. But if this fails, then you can't use hope for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, wow. Let's
Nobody
use a Hope.
succeeds this, so. Close.
Ugh.
Oh, man.
I've never seen somebody succeed this roll yet.
Fatimer got it. So, Fatimer, you do not take... you'll take 1 point of shadow here, because it's 2 points, but you passed your test, so you're not daunted. You can spend hope. And everyone else will take 2 points of shadow. It will then attack Vidar. And it comes in with a bite. – maybe. Not gonna let me do it. There we go. Ooh, narrowly fails. And then it goes for Haldor. Same thing, tries to bite at you with its massive tooth-filled maw. Ooh, that is a hit. That's a great success, and it can make that a piercing blow because it rolled a 9. So it's going. Let me submit that. Okay. So the first thing you need to do is make a protection roll. You need to beat a 16. So you can roll your armor. Alternatively, if you go to the chat screen where it says Haldor needs to make a protection roll test, if you click on that, will it let you click on protection roll test?
Yes.
Perfect. Then that will automate it for you.
Perfect.
Ooh. Okay, you are wounded.
We are wounded, boys.
So, and you take some damage. So let me give you the 6 damage. And then let me apply the wounded as well. Okay, so now if we look at your character sheet, you have the wounded feature on there. We need to make a roll. There's a table to see how bad your wounds are. Let me find that table. Wound severity. I'm going to have you roll a 12-sided die for me. With Foundry, the way that you'll roll it is down in the chat bar. I'm going to type out a sentence. You're going to type, but don't type the word type. 1d12. And you can do d12, or if you do df, that will roll a feat die. So just type /r space 1df.
/R1df?
Yeah, R space 1df, and that will roll the feat die. That way we'll actually get the Gandalf rune or the Eye. Oh, a 1. Okay. So that's how long the injury will take to mend, which is, this is in days. That will take 1 day to mend. So that's actually pretty good. So
Where did this thing bite me?
Yeah, you tell me. Where did he get you?
I think in the leg.
Nice.
Nice, meaty thigh bite.
It burns like this thing is probably going to get infected. You know, this is going to take some tending to, but that's for another time. That's not for right now. We go to the next.
I don't see my sheet updated with wounded or my endurance lost. Do I need to do anything on my side for that?
Let me look at your sheet. So I show that you took 6 damage. I show you at 19 endurance. And then
interesting.
I show you
pop it in and pop it out.
Oh yeah, if you're popped out, it may screw up. Pop it back in and then pop it out, and it should correct. And I show you wounded with 1 day. Do you see that as well?
Alrighty.
So we're at the next round. You can change your stances. So Vidar, do you want to change your stance?
Yeah, he'll go forward.
Forward stance. And what about Haldor? Do you change your stance?
Yeah, we're gonna jump forward and get this thing.
Perfect. And Frór, what about you?
I will remain defensive.
And Fatimer?
I will stay in rearward.
Perfect. Vidar, you're first, and you get, was it +2, I think, to your... Or no, we only had one person that got it. So you get a +1 to your attack because of that rally comrades.
Okay. Can't use hope.
Nope. Only person that can use hope is Fatimer.
Okay, well, fingers crossed.
Can I use hope for
Yes,
someone?
you can. So Fatimer can use hope for someone but you have to kind of tell me how you're helping them. And it has to make sense.
Okay. I will call out to him and I'll say, look, there's a spot there. You're a good warrior. Stick him right there, and you've got him.
And I think because of your scan roll that you made the previous round, I think that would make sense.
Right.
So if you want to deduct a point of hope, and then Vidar, you can add that supported by someone else.
Thank you. Oh, that means something. Oh.
Oh.
But it's still a success because you still got enough. And for some reason, Vidar, it took one of your hope points away, so I'm going to put that back on there.
It says I got a little pop-up. I guess I could just do a heavy blow? I don't know.
Yeah, so now you have a choice. So you can't make it a piercing blow because you got a 0. You'd have to have a +10. So definitely heavy blow is the way that you want to go. Nice. 13 damage. How do you hew into this Terror of the Tunnels?
Yeah, well, now that he's been given some guidance, he manages to, I almost think he was already committed to the attack when he heard that, and the last minute he switched it up, so it's a little clumsy, but it still, with the spot being so weak, it just goes right in.
Nice.
I don't know, this thing's horrifying. Probably one of the legs. She pointed out the joint.
Nice. You just hack through the joint, and there's a spray of this dark, oily fluid that flows out of this creature's leg, and it spatters across into your beard and across your armor, and in your bloodlust you cry out, "Ah!" as you swing your axe deep into it. Haldor, your turn.
I think I would swing at him first with the torch in hand, and then swing with the sword, trying to disorient him a little bit maybe. And
Yeah, add a bonus
swinging.
die for that. Plus you get a bonus die for the rally.
So we'll go one-handed sword. We will add 1.
It's like
So I get
Aragorn
+2.
on Weathertop. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Got
There
it.
we go.
Great success. So now you can choose. Let's see. Your feat die was a 4, so you probably want to do heavy blow, unless you want to do like the fend off that increases your parry. So if
yeah, I think I'm gonna fend off here, even more thematically with the torch, trying to shoo it off us a little bit.
I like that. Nice. Deal 5 damage. Excellent. And Frór, your turn.
I will continue attacking this with my axe.
And you'll get a +1 from the rally. Nice. Great success. And Fatimer.
I will take out my bow, and I'm going to use a point of hope.
Okay. If you can hit this, this could be it. Oh! Shoot. It's going to go after the two that are in forward stance against Vidar and Haldor again. The first attack is up against Haldor. Ooh. He can't make it a piercing blow, which is good, because if he could and he got it, you would die, or be dying. But he can make it a double heavy blow. I think this is probably gonna drop you to 0. Yeah. Whew.
Now that's even with the +2 to my parry.
Yeah. So he rolled. Well, let's see. Hang on. So. Yeah, hang on. I don't know if it automated that. Let me see. What's your parry?
I think my parry's 18.
18, so it
which
would have been
made
a
it
20. Yeah. So it didn't automate the. Okay, I take it all back. Because of that fend off. Excellent. Because of the fend off, It comes in, and it's got a direct shot at your neck. And as you bring up that torch, it rears back, and you hear this humming, squealing, grating sound as it gnashes its teeth and tries to get away from the flames. And you know that you came to within an inch of certain death. And it directs its attention at Vidar.
Oh yeah, Gandalf is
Yeah,
good.
Gandalf counts as a 0 for enemies. So that fails. We go to the next round. You know what? Fatimer, did you add your 2 bonus die to your bow shot?
No, I didn't. I forgot I had that.
So you rolled a 14. You would have at least gotten 2 extra, so it would have been a hit. So do /R space 2DS. That will roll 2 skill dice. Okay, so that is a hit. Your bow does 3 damage.
Yes.
Okay. We go to the next round. Anyone want to change stances?
Nah.
Okay.
Vidar's
Taking
just
this thing
one
out.
Yeah.
Vidar, you're up first. It's badly wounded. If you guys can land 1 hit. That's why I wanted to double check on that bow shot, because it's 1 hit will do it.
Come on. Ooh. Not quite.
Oh, man. Dang it. Missed it by 1. Shoot.
Yeah.
Haldor.
I think I go ahead and drop the torch and 2-hand
Ooh,
stab for its face here. And no extra. Oh no, I do get the 1 for being in forward.
And
Is that right?
it should do that automatically. In fact, on the bottom left, it should say you're in forward stance. And I think
Yes,
it
we got
already
it.
adds the 1 on there. Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, got it. Okay.
Nice.
How do you take it out?
I straight stab for its right in its face.
Your sword, you bury it to the hilt in that great open mouth. And it squirms on the end of your blade, struggling mightily against the sting. And it thrashes about, again, spraying chunks and bits of juice and just a horrible, violent death. It's not like, taking down a deer or something. This thing flails and thrashes, and it's a horrible sight. Yet it feels good to know that you have rid the lands of this creature that has wreaked so much chaos and destruction in these lands.
I think aloud, if I make it out of these tunnels, I'll have a song to sing.
Absolutely. Now, you've got, from here in this tomb, let me get us back to our map. From here in this tomb, this thing came from up near the ceiling. You would suspect, Haldor, that this must have a nest or a lair somewhere.
Yeah, I think I would make that suspicion known to the party.
You could make an explore roll, or if someone wants to do that, they can make an explore roll to see if they can't find where this came from.
If Frór wanted to try, then Vidar would love to give him like a fellowship support.
Yeah.
only
Frór
right.
will definitely try.
Alright, I'll spend the hook.
So, Frór, you are now miserable.
I should not have spent my own hope. I didn't
No,
add
right.
that.
Yeah, that was.
Yep, okay. Yeah, correction. So for some reason it's, I don't know why it's doing that. Let me adjust that. There we go. But you're one away from being miserable. But you got a success. Up above in the scaffolding, you see a crawl space. And as you scale up cautiously with the torchlight, you see a small cavern beyond. And inside the cavern you can see a skeleton clutching a tome. And this tome, it's in the grasp of this dwarf, probably a dwarven scholar or a historian. His bones of his hands are wrapped around this tome, clutching it tightly to his sternum and rib cage. And Frór, how do you approach this? What do you do?
Well, I'm weary of any potential danger, but I would also approach this with reverence.
As you reach a trembling hand forward to touch the tome, it falls open at the last leaves, the last pages, which describe the death of the king, his burial, the slaughter of his loyal friends, and it finishes on a sour tale of traitors who stole from the king's hoard. On the ground there's a loose leaf found, and this parchment provides lyrics to a song. And let me give you the Song of Dror. And I will make this visible as well under the journals. So as you read through, it says, "The Song of the Hidden Circle. Stone has a mouth, yet never speaks. Iron has doors, yet never creaks. Who walks the deeps may pass or stay. What secret hand shall show the way? Not sword, not crown, nor gem-lit hoard, but circle wrought of silvered ore. It finds the path no eyes can see, and ever returns to its bearer's knee. One tooth bites iron, old and grim. One shines with Mithril's argent rim. One bears a crown, one axis crossed. One guards the vault of treasure lost. The circle hides what eyes conceal. It shows the clefts of stone and steel. No thief may keep it, none may bind, save gift of hand or end of time. What walks with king, O delver true, forged of fire, born anew? It opens halls both lost and deep. It goes with kin, yet none may keep." So this is a song, and you can add this to your list of songs. I'll add it on the fellowship. But this is basically a walking song. So you can use this once per session. You guys all sing the song while you're out journeying, and it gives you a favored role during the journey phase. And you choose, do you want it for a travel roll or a skill roll, or how you want to do it. And so this song is one that, as you have discovered, now you can use at least once per session during a journey. But you suspect that there are riddles here. In fact, give me a riddle roll. Well, you fail. However, you know that there must be some that would know more of what this speaks, and you suspect that Balin could likely give you some information, and it would be wise to show this to Balin, whether he would want it for his own studies, but also perhaps this has something to do with why Dáli came here. This song, this is more than just a song. This is a clue. What do you do with this parchment?
I will hand it to Vidar, my captain, and tell him that we should keep it safe, that we can give it to Balin.
Aye, well found, friend.
As you climb down from this little crawl space back into the tomb of the king, you know that there is but a few places left to survey. One was listed on your on the map. It mentioned a place that you have yet to find, and that was the Silver Pool. Do you take the journey down here to the Silver Pool?
While he was doing that, would I have had maybe enough time to stuff my poisonous wound with some Ethelis?
Yeah. Do you have some on hand?
I do. That's
Excellent.
my healing handy traveling gear.
Perfect. So if you want to make a healing roll, and since you're using that, you add 1d to your roll.
Okay.
And if you get a success, you will reduce the severity of the wound by 1 day, which you just did. So tell me how you heal your wound.
Yeah, while he's doing that, I have a quick sit down, go into my pouch, and burn a little bit of the king's foil and kind of solder it shut with the tip of my blade and king's foil together.
Nice. It's painful. Fatimer, as you see him do this, you've never seen anything so painful in your life. Give me a shadow test, a valor roll, as you see the hardships of the road. It's not all just eating, your emergency biscuits and finding songs. No, here's a man that just cauterized a poisoned wound with a hot blade. And that smell of burning skin and hair is going to stick with you anytime you have barbecue.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, take
Yeah,
one
sorry
point of
about
shadow.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, Fatimer's just pale. Like, what the hell? As you make your way down to the pool, you see a cold pool of water that resides in a cavern lit by mithril ore. There are streaks and spots up above. It looks like stars reflected in the water. There's a greater shimmer that illuminates the room as the light of the ore reflects off. And the two dwarves, you are enheartened by seeing this. And Vidar and Frór, you can recover 2 shadow points each upon seeing this pool of mithril stars.
Aye, it reminds me of the Mirror, though I've never seen it. Though it perhaps reminds me of the tales.
So what do you know of the Mirror?
Well, I know that it's the pool outside the kingdom of Khazak-Dûl and or Khazak-Dûn, and I know that Durin peered into it and saw a crown of stars.
Yes, and as you recall this tale, it was in the Dimril Dale, and that is a place that we will likely encounter again. In the Dimril Dale, Durin gazed upon the Mirror and saw a crown of stars and knew that he would be the king under the mountain. And so this would be a place where dwarves, to gaze upon the Mirror would be a life's goal, something that you would remember for your entire life and would tell your posterity about the time you stood where Durin once stood. And as you look at this smaller pool, you know it's not the Mirror, but it recalls that memory, and that's what helps you to recover from that despair as you think the time of the dwarves will come again. You have found Dáli's body. You could perhaps take something of his to show Káli. It's basically his lower half. He's got his boots that are partially rotted. You probably don't want to take his bones, although perhaps you could, so that he could bury them. Maybe don't tell him, hey, your dad got ripped in half. Here's half of him. But do you take something back with you to show Káli that his father is indeed gone and what you found?
Can we check his
perhaps
pockets or something?
Yeah, why don't we let our Hobbit check the pockets? What has it got in its pockets? If you want to, you don't even need to make a roll for this. Although I will have you make a scan roll, just to make sure you don't put your hand in like some of his dried flesh, because it's pretty grim. Okay, so you do touch some of that flesh, and it's unappealing. It's not, you've touched bones, you've cooked a lot of food, you've eaten a lot of things in your life, but the lower half of a dwarf was not something on your bingo card. You put your hand in the pocket and you find a few things. Metal shavings, a few coins, and you find a simple copper ring.
I'll take the ring, maybe to give it to his son.
Yeah, as you look over the ring, it's tough to tell in the torchlight. There are some sort of markings on the outside of the ring. It looks like it's in runes. You can't read it, but it does have some sort of faded markings on there. So hopefully Káli might recognize, hey, my father wore this ring. You think this is probably good. Do you bury his bones?
Yeah, I think I would.
Vidar and Frór, are you okay with Fatimer basically looting the corpse?
Well, we need proof.
Exactly.
And how do you propose to inter poor Dáli so that he may be at rest beneath the earth?
Probably best to find one of the tunnels that aren't made of stone.
There are plenty of tunnels where you could take him. As you make that journey, you look at all the other dwarves that are in here. You know that you can't bury them all. But do you take any other dwarves with you, or just Dáli?
I think by vanquishing the evil that had clouded these halls, that perhaps we have already laid them to rest.
As you carry the bones of Dáli to a safe place, you find a spot that looks promising. In fact, it's there where the tunnel ends, where there was still much construction. And you think you could place him here, no problem. And if you want to take the time, either Dror or Vidar, you could craft a small stone to place over his burial place. It would be a crafting roll if you want to take some time to do that.
Well, Vidar would like to try. He's got carving tools.
Yeah, so that would give you a bonus die on that.
Wow.
Man, you got it, barely. With extraordinary success. What do you put on this stone? And it turns out beautiful. What do you put on there?
I suppose, not knowing anything about either of them, he would just put Dáli, father of Káli.
Father of Káli. And let's see if I've got... remember how to do the... Nope. Let's see. Oh, close. Dáli, father of Dáli, father of Káli. Maybe you put friend of Balin under it.
Oh, yeah, we would know that, I suppose.
And then you must make your way out of these tunnels. That's going to take an explore roll. I think Frór is probably our best at that. Ooh, yeah. Most of the way out, it's quiet, and you are mulling over the thoughts of that song that you heard. Do you take time to do a rest in these tunnels, or are you just heading out? If you do a rest, you could do a short rest where you will heal endurance points equal to your strength score. You could also spend some fellowship points to replenish some hope. Or you can just make haste to get out of this mass grave. Frór, what do you want to do here?
Frór will defer to Vidar and the ranger and see what they would like to do.
Haldor could not get out of this cave sooner.
Right? Yeah, you miss the open sky and the smell of trees, not the smell of the ends of worms and wet earth. Vidar, you probably don't mind it down here, but this is a giant tomb.
Yeah, it's grim, and there may be other, unfound treasures, but it is best to make haste.
How about Fatimer?
Well, I'm very frightened, so I think I would want to leave as soon as possible.
As you are heading out with Frór in the lead, Fatimer, you're probably getting a little tired. It's been a long day. You have not stopped for a meal in several hours. You're probably getting hungry. And as you begin to lag behind, give me an awareness roll. Oh, a Gandalf rune. Look at that. As your torch is beginning to burn low, and you're kind of looking at the little glow there's plenty of light from the people up ahead of you, but as you're lagging behind a little bit, just putting one foot in front of the other, your torch is burning low, you hear a sound behind you, a skittering of pebbles.
Can I quickly look behind me?
Yeah. And when you quickly look behind you, you see that you are not alone. That there is something trailing your party. It's about half the size of the other one that you fought, but there is a very large spider that is slowly approaching your position. And when it sees you turn, it pauses and crouches low.
I will alert everyone else.
Alright, let's go to another combat here. How do you alert everyone else?
Well, I think after seeing it, I would maybe let out a little yelp, and then when they, look back at me, I'll point
When
to
you
it.
let out that yelp, it will pounce.
Okay.
So, everyone else, you need to make an awareness roll. If you succeed, you can make an opening volley. If not, you may not.
I don't think I can succeed. Well, maybe Gandalf.
If you get a Gandalf rune. Ooh, almost. Man, close. Alright, so no opening volleys. So let's get into combat. No opening volley. And it's too close, Fatimer, for you to make an opening volley. So, Vidar, what stance do you choose?
Because this never goes wrong. He's going to start out and forward. He is just the man.
Nice. And Haldor?
Feeling extra confident after that last one, he is also going to stay in forward.
And Frór?
Frór remains defensive.
And Fatimer, you are too close to get into
Yeah,
rearward. You're
that's
going to
what I
have to
thought.
assume a stance.
Yeah, I'll go forward.
If you do defensive on your action, you could slip back into rearward, but it'd be tough to get a shot because it's in a narrow tunnel.
Yeah, so I'll just go forward.
You want to go forward stance? Because it's right on top of you. Okay. Let me get us all engaged. All right. Vidar, you're up first.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's just going for it. I'm not going to use hope.
Ooh, good hit. How do you chop into this thing?
Yeah, he was kind of like, I think he went past it slightly because it pounced, so he's going for its abdomen.
Ooh, nice. You open up a huge rift, and some thick clumps of whitish yellow pulp spill out. Haldor, your turn.
I think given the proximity, I'm comfortable dropping the torch, going two-handed on this. I like to think myself and Frór are side by side, and the spider's kind of between us, going for his other side
like
of his abdomen.
Vidar's taking
And
it head on,
we-
and you two pin it.
Yeah. Ah,
Ugh.
and we swing and we miss.
Fatimer, you're up. Do you have a close comp like a sword?
I have a short sword.
Perfect. Stick and move, stick and move.
And I will use hope for this.
Okay. Nice, great success. So you can't make that a piercing blow because you rolled a 5, and you can't get that with a sword. You get a +1 with a sword, but you can make that a heavy blow.
And I will.
Nice. And Frór. And while Frór is attacking, Fatimer, describe your attack. Narrate that for us.
I think I pull out my sword, and I get a little burst of bravery and try to hit it on the head.
Nice. And you do, but your hand gets a little close to its mouth. And it leans in and tries to lay a nice bite on you on its turn as Frór's attack fails to come to fruition. Ooh, thank goodness that the Gandalf rune is a 0, because this sting is venomous, and you could have been poisoned there. We go to the next round, and anyone want to change stances?
Nah.
Okay, then Vidar, you're up first. One hit will take this thing out. Someone needs to connect.
Perfect. He will use hope. I'm gonna see if I don't think he does have anything that could inspire an attack.
Yeah, what are your distinctive features? Lordly, stern. Yeah, maybe stern. Probably not. I think the ranger might have tall, and that could be probably a disadvantage in a tunnel, but could be an advantage in other situations.
Could I give up my round in combat to support him by trying to distract it?
Yeah, I like it. And if give him a bonus die.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I give my torch that is now on the ground a good hard kick, trying to kick the torch into the spider itself.
Nice. So add a bonus die to that, Vidar.
Teamwork makes the dream work. I knew that was going to be a lot of dying.
Ooh. All right, and then tell me, Vidar, how you take this thing out.
Yeah, with a heavy blow, he just brings the axe down on he's short, so it's not quite on his back. It's like the upper side, and it just pops the whole abdomen.
And it just crumples down in a heap. As it expires, the combat is over. You decide you cannot get out of this place fast enough, and so you make haste to the exit. And once you get back outside, the air, the freshness of the air comes as a relief to all of you. This place was grim, it was dark, it was definitely daunting, but you have achieved the task that you set out to do. The journey back to Bree, we basically Indiana Jones redline it. You don't have to redo the journey. It's just assumed you make it back okay. Just like, the Hobbits make it back to the Shire, like, where's all the adventures? There's nothing. They just make it back. So the same holds true here, is you're able to make it back to Bree. Let's go back to our map here. And once you're back here at Bree, you are greeted by Balin, who is overjoyed to see you, and Káli, who is eager for any news that you might have. What news of my father? Did you find him? Is he still alive?
Vidar has that ring, right?
Yeah.
So he would just kind of hand that to him. Vidar's not really many words. He died well, it would seem. I'm sorry.
Oh, me dad. Oh, I know this ring. From the time I was a lad, I seen it upon his finger. Here, it still bears the marks where he held his hammer. Oh, how did he die? Do you know?
He would kind of like shrug towards this party. My friends are more descriptive, but there was a foul creature down there that plagues the land no more, but it took many lives, but your father, he was right. It's there.
I say, fear not, we have avenged him by slaying the beast.
You have done a great service, and well, me heart aches for me dad. I'm very pleased to hear that what took him will take no others. Sure, and you are good, wise folk. And Balin says, yes, I told you these were the best. I knew that they would serve you well, Káli. Now, tonight, let us drink. Drink to the memory of my friend, Dáli, of your dad, and of these brave souls. To Fatimer, to Vidar, to Haldor, and to Frór. And Balin raises his mug as more mugs are brought to the table by Butterbur Sr. And as you raise your mugs, you look at one another, knowing that you have just embarked on your first adventure together, and you suspect this will not be the last. As Balin rubs his chin after the drink and says, "Me friends, I've more to tell ye. But tonight it is for I think so. It says tonight it is for stories, for songs, and for Dáli." And as you break into Dwarven songs, Vidar, do you show him that song?
Yeah. Well, he would tell Balin, you knew he'd be of service to your friend here, but well, we may have something for you as well. It seems like you might get more of it than us.
He looks and says, "Oh, this will take some study. Yes. This, yes. Could it be possible? No. Well, maybe." And he seems to be having an argument to himself, or perhaps a discussion. Should he, shouldn't he? Is it possible? And then he grins and smiles. "Aye, we'll speak more of this next time." And that's where the session will end. We're going to go ahead and have a fellowship phase, and you all get some experience points. You get 3 skill points and 3 adventure points. I'm going to apply that. That should put it onto everybody's character sheet. Excellent. And you can spend your points now during a fellowship phase. I've got under the cheat sheets, there is, right here, let me post this, but let me post that in the chat. You can spend points during the fellowship phase. We're going to be here for probably 2 weeks in town. So our duration is 2 weeks, our destination is Bree, and we can perform updates. So you can increase each skill 1 level during a fellowship phase. And you can increase either Valor or your Wisdom 1 level, and you can also increase 1 rank in each combat proficiency. And the points are on that chart, how much it would take to spend that. And so right now everyone should have Valor and Wisdom of 1. If you want to go to rank 2, it will cost you 8 points. Now I think only one of us might have enough points to do that. But if you want to increase your skills, you could go to level 1 in a skill. It would cost you 4 points. Level 2 would cost you 8, level 3, and so on. And you couldn't go from level 0 to level 2. You can only do it 1 point at a time. And then we can also choose an undertaking during this time. These are things that during Yule you can do other things, but this is not Yule. This is not winter time. So we can gather rumors. So basically, we ask Balin, like, what does that song mean? You can meet your patron. We automatically met the patron. You can ponder storied figures and maps. You might ask Balin, do you have a map of this place? Or you can strengthen the fellowship, which will raise the fellowship rating by +1 until the next fellowship phase. You can also write a song. If you want to write a song about the halls of Dror or Gathol-Zigil, you can. And the songs can be either a lay, which is good for councils, a song of victory, which is good for combat, or a walking song, which is good for journeys. And so... again, we do undertakings. We choose one as a group, and then we can also choose one additional, which is one that is listed in the book as free, or one that only certain classes can do. So if we have a scholar, we can underdo the extra undertaking of ponder storied figures and maps. If we have a captain, we can do the strengthen the fellowship. If we have a treasure hunter, we could study magic items, but we don't have any magic items. If we have a champion, we can write a song. So we've got a few options. Probably the best thing, I think, might be to gather rumors. That's how we learn about other adventures to be had. But then we can do one of those free ones. So we could do pondered story figures and map. Actually, do we have a scholar? Then we couldn't do that one for free. We could strengthen the fellowship if we have a captain. We could write a song if we have a champion. Any preference on those?
I think gather rumors makes sense.
Yeah, I think gather rumors would be good. We do have a captain. Vidar, you're a captain. If we wanted to do the which one? Not the write a song. The strengthen the fellowship. We could raise the fellowship rating by +1 for our next session. As you probably go around and tell everyone, "Hey, great job with that thing that you did."
Yeah, there was a lot of impressive moments tonight.
So, let me raise our fellowship by 1. And actually, when we get Craig with us, it's going to go up by 1 more. So I don't think we used any fellowship points during the session. Our eye awareness will also reset back down to starting level of 2. I don't think we used any fellowship points. Again, we can use those during, if we had taken a short rest or a prolonged rest, to heal some hope points. We could also use them in combat to make a roll favored. Since we are doing a fellowship phase, you will recover all of your endurance points, so you can actually do a prolonged rest if you like. And we can still spend some of those fellowship points now. But you will also recover your heart score in hope. And so Fatimer, your heart score is 6. Vidar, your heart score is 4. And Frór, your heart score is 2. And Haldor, your heart score is 6. So you can recover those many hope points just off the bat, and I'll let you do that on your character sheets. Does anyone want to increase their skills? Do you have enough XP? I think Frór might. Frór's got Frór, you've got 9 skill points and 9 adventure points. So you could
He
raise,
does not want to raise up anything right now.
because you could raise a combat skill that uses the adventure points, or you could use the skill points to raise skills. And also, who has 6? I think Vidar and Fatimer. I think you guys have 6. Yeah, you have 6. So you could raise. You could take something from level 0 in a skill to level 1 if you wanted to pick up a skill that you have 0 in and raise it up a little. Let me know if you do, and then I can make that change on your sheet. If not, you can hoard those until next time.
Yeah, I'll hold on to mine.
Perfect. And Fatimer, same for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone want to make a change to their fellowship focus, or do you want to wait till Craig gets here to make that decision?
I think it might make sense for Haldor to pick Frór as his fellowship focus, being brothers in arms for
Yeah.
those fights. We were the front.
No, Frór or... Because Frór was in defensive a lot. Vidar?
Vidar.
Perfect.
Yeah, Vidar.
I thought that was who you meant. So I'll put Vidar down as your fellowship focus. And so I think the only one right now that doesn't have one is probably Fatimer. Do you want to pick someone or wait till Craig gets back?
I guess I'll just wait.
Okay. And, like, you don't have to pick him, and someone could pick 2 people. It's like, Boromir loved Merry and Pippin, and, probably did not have a fellowship focus with Frodo. But everybody, Gandalf loved everybody. Everybody loved Gandalf. Any questions about what we did today, or any of the mechanics of the game?
So, do our shadow points
Oh,
that we
yes.
earn stay?
No. So, because we vanquished some evil, we're going to lose some shadow points. And there's a couple things that we can do with shadow points. So let's go over shadow. So shadow, it will stick with you for a while. At the end of a session, there's a few things that you can do. You can at any point when you take a rest, you can look at your shadow points, and if they're getting high, like I'm just going to look at Fatimer, your shadow points right now, you've got 5. So everyone is going to recover some points for just the good, for doing good and destroying some evil. Everyone will recover 2 shadow points. And so that's, when you hit a fellowship phase, the end of the adventuring phase, if you've done some good things, then that will happen. If you still want to get rid of your shadow, otherwise those points are going to linger with you, you can take a shadow scar, which you'll take all of your shadow points and you'll dump it into one shadow scar. That becomes a permanent point of shadow that can only go away at Yule time. So, like, if you have 2 or 3 shadow points, I probably wouldn't do it. But if you have like 6 or 7, it might be worth taking a shadow scar. Does anyone want to take a shadow scar, or are you okay with the shadow points you have now? Perfect. If your shadow ever hits your hope maximum, the only way to get rid of it is a bout of madness, in which point you'll take a flaw, and once you've taken 5 flaws, your character is out of the game. They basically have given up hope. They wander off into the wilderness and are never seen from again. We will learn more about the goal from Balin. The song that we uncovered is going to be what triggers him to want to explore into Moria. So for next time, we will actually get the call to see if we can find a way in. And he may have some lore for us as far as the best way to go. And he may send us to a lore master to get more information, which would probably be Elrond. And so we'll probably have a journey to Rivendell, and then potentially a journey to the East Gate of Moria, the only known entrance into the mines. And that is where the Mirror sits. In fact, from this map, you can see this lake just below the East Gate. That is the body of water that Durin gazed upon and saw the crown of stars. And so we may well see that next time. All right, I want to thank everyone for playing. I had a blast. I love this system. It's super fun. It's very cinematic, very narrative, and you guys did great. I love the interplay between the characters, the role playing, this is what my character would do it was fantastic. I am going to dread that we have 2 weeks until we play again, but we in the Discord we'll probably chat a little bit about kind of getting Craig back up to speed, as well as where do we go from here.